Hello everyone, welcome to PhoneUX. So what I have here is the Galaxy S23 Ultra. This is my first Ultra phone and I was super excited to get it because I know that the Ultra series is built with the best parts that are available and I am not disappointed. Now keep in mind that I haven't had the phone long enough to come across any issues, but keep an eye out for my long-term reviews to see if I come across any. So I'll just go over the different parts of the phone and I'll start off with the screen. So as far as the screen goes, it is a little shorter and wider than the Z Flip and Z Fold series, which is what I've been used to. Follows more of the traditional aspect ratio, but it's not a bad thing. It actually could be a good thing for the most part because apps and movies are generally designed for this screen aspect ratio, so they tend to take advantage of the screen. And probably the most important part of the screen is the resolution. So this phone actually can actually run QHD, Quad HD, and it does make it quite a big difference when it comes to the visual of the phone or the screen. It does provide a clearer picture. So the only thing is that it comes default with 1080p. So you have to go to the settings and change that to the QHD setting. So I have seen reports of the screen scratching up pretty easily with the micro abrasions, and I haven't actually seen it on my phone, but as soon as I saw that and individuals were saying that is actually happening fairly easily, I went ahead and got myself a screen protector. So I would recommend you do that. I'm not really one to usually put on screen protectors, but I really don't want to start seeing a bunch of micro abrasions on my screen either. So yeah, just I went ahead and put the screen protector on it just to be safe. So next on the list, and in my opinion the most important update of the year, is the chipset. So this is running the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which by comparison to the 8 Plus Gen 1 that I am or was using until I got this phone on the Z Flip series, it's noticeably quicker and it runs a lot cooler. I mean, it's night and day in terms of temperature. Also, that's the chipset was letting the battery last longer, so this is definitely the most important upgrade of the year. Next on the list is the sound. And so as far as sound goes on phones, I never expect much out of them, just enough to watch whatever you're watching, not necessarily be immersed in it. But I was surprised with this phone. Like, I was genuinely enjoying the sound that was coming out of it, and I didn't feel like I wanted to grab a set of headphones and put them on. I was happy just listening to the sound that's coming out of the speakers. So let's talk about the appearance of the phone. There are a couple things I want to talk about. So the finishes are about the best you can get. On the S23 series, you have the matte finish. I have the cream here. The matte cream looks amazing. You got the nice big bumps, camera bumps. It just adds some flash to it because they have some polished aluminum around it. You have the polished sides here, and then you have the curvature on the screen, so it doesn't just abruptly cut off. It slides into the edge of the phone, which is a nice touch. Even though the screen has been squared off quite a bit, it still doesn't just jump off or create an edge. It still slides off nicely. So Samsung did a great job with the screen on this phone. Very happy with it. Also, there's no accidental touches with the slope. So it behaves like a regular screen would, and it provides a better feeling. Now on the other end of it, we have the squared off edges, which has pros and cons. So the pro definitely being that your content fills up all the way to the edge. With the rounded edges, you will notice that the content at the edge cuts off a little bit, and you just don't get down this phone because it is squared. So the downside of the squared edges is when you're putting it into your pocket, it likes to snag a little bit. So you just gotta be a little bit more careful that you actually place it into your pocket correctly rather than just dropping it into your pocket, because then it could just grab and just fall to the ground. But besides that, I prefer the squared edges. It does provide more usable space. So last on my list is the camera system, and this is probably the most talked about feature of the phone. And that's because it has so many options. So starting with the main camera, the main camera never really wins any of these comparison videos, but it's not bad. I would say it's top 10 easy. But I also like the way that Samsung optimizes their photos. So I might be a little bit biased on that one, and that's kind of a preference thing also. So you have it, you have the Pixel 7 beating it, Pixel 6 beating it, and other phones. But the main camera takes good photos and it competes with the best of them. And then you also have the options of the 3 times photo and the 10 times photo, which the 10 times is very rare to find on a phone. Um, you might have one or two out there that could do the same, but at least in the US, this would be the only one that I know of that you can actually buy off a shelf. And this, the product that comes out of the 3 times and 10 times zoom are very good, probably the best in the category. And so that's why this phone is such a big deal, and the features talked about so much, because it's not just that the main camera is good, it's that it has all the other cameras that are also good. So the front facing camera works really well also. They did lower it to a 12 megapixel, but to me the front camera at 12 megapixel works fine, because you're not trying to get shoot the 40 megapixel raw photo so you could then later zoom in a bit. Usually when you're using the front camera, you're using it at arm's length, so that works more than good enough. And then the 12 megapixels tend to really give you some good HDR and everything, because the processor has an easier time with the photos. So that's definitely, I think, an improvement, even though it has less megapixels than the previous model. But yeah, overall, the camera system is just sick on this phone. I haven't taken a moonshot. I've been trying to take a moonshot, but every time I go out, the moon is like, below the horizon, so I have no chance at it. Waiting for the right time to finally take a moonshot, and hopefully a full moon, and that would be pretty cool. If I do, I'll definitely post it up. So my final thoughts on the phone, I'm having a great experience with it, and I don't expect that to change barring some catastrophic event. But I would like to see faster charging on it. 45 watts is not bad by any means, but I would like to see at least 65 watts on the next generation of the S series Ultra. The extra power would definitely be useful for when you need a quick boost before you go out, because either forgot to charge it or any other scenario. Just having the extra power to give you a boost when needed would be awesome. And so besides that, this phone is just great, and anyone that buys it, I'm sure will have a great experience with it. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.